Hello, good people from the YouTube land. Here's Marcelo Durham once again. Today I'm going to talk about this vintage modified Mustang that I bought used here near my house where I live in London. A guy was selling for £200 and I just couldn't miss on that opportunity. It wasn't the right time to buy a new guitar, but anyway, it's so cheap, so I went for it. I think a new one of these, the Classic Vibe series, is 350, so 150 pounds cheaper. And what we're talking about today is the modifications that I did. I'm just gonna go through a few things that I did. I made this bridge not floating anymore, like I just made it, I lock it by removing the springs inside and putting some bushes here to create some space and make it tight, so it tight the screws here and it's locked. Someone changed the bridge here for a cheaper version that you can adjust up and down and forward, so you can adjust the radius of the bridge and everything and the intonation. Although this is a good feature, the quality of the metal on these are crap and makes the guitar sound not really amazing. Other thing that can improve the sound is changing the plastic nut for a bone nut. I haven't done those things yet. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Also, I'm going to change the tuners. I got these Goto tuners, kind of relic for my Strat, and the original ones from this Fender Strat I'm going to put in the Squier. So passing hands down from the biggest sister to the younger sister kind of thing. But the big change in this guitar that some people will hate me for doing this and some people will love the idea, is that I put some fat 60s in the place of the original pickups. One thing that I also did is I changed the potentiometers on these, because these alpha pots that comes on it, they don't sound really good. And I did the same in my Jazzmaster. I changed the pickups for Seymour Duncan Antiquities, and it wasn't sounding really good. I was so disappointed. And then I changed the potentiometers, and then whoop, the guitar starts sounding amazing, as it was supposed to since the beginning. But these kind of blocked the good sound that you invest in pickups. They block, they're like a filter of bad sound. Also, if you change these like I did, I changed these before I changed the pickups, they make the original pickups sound a little bit better. Another modification that I did, I put a 0.022 cap here on the tone pot, and that made this guitar too bright. For the previous pickups, they were a bit dull. It was a good thing. For these pickups, it's not really the right cap, so I'm gonna change eventually for these 0.047 caps that I bought. Okay, but so let's hear the guitar as it is now. So I need to roll the tone a little bit out. If you see, I rolled the tone a little bit, just a minor detail, just to make, not so harsh. So I'm gonna do a quick run through the sounds of the guitar. So we are in the neck position now. So this is the little switch for the bridge pickup and the switch for the neck pickup. As most people know, if you have a Mustang, in the middle they're off, on the sides they're on, and it can be in phase or out of phase when you put both of them on. So now it's just the neck pickup, and let's see the sound with the Fat 60s. It obviously sounds a little bit more stratty, but to be honest, I think the old vintage Mustangs had basically a Strat pickup, although the pole pieces were all flat, which is not the case now with the Fat 60s. So now both pickups in phase, okay? It's not like a position 2 or position 4 in a Strat, but it's more like a in the middle position in a Tele. So now when they're open out, or if they're both in, you got the out of phase position, so you got this kind of quacky sound, and you can do some, I don't know, even Red Hot Chili Peppers on a... But to be honest, I mean, I like the bridge position or the neck position. So the bridge position, you can get a really frusciante sound, like in a, if you have to ask. Or you can even do your, you know, can't stop. You see, it's as powerful as a Strat can be, you know, but it's tiny, and you have the kind of short scale here, which it does sound different when you do band. I noticed, like, I recorded with a Strat, and then when I went to do the same band, like doubling with this guitar, I just couldn't get it perfectly right. I think the relationship between, you know, the bending and the note that stays, well, if you're doing something like this, you know, it kind of, it's different. But you can make this work as a Strat would work for you in a gig or in a recording, you know. Anyway, since we're trying with distortion, let me show you the, well, you know, the looks Kurt Cobain. Let's show how this can work for that kind of sound. So if we put in out of phase, we get that quirky sound. Which is quite nice. And then if we go back to the neck pickup with some fuzz, we can do something more Hendrix or the closest sound that Hendrix ever had. I'm joking, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan. Well, anyway, some frusciante stuff. Also, one more thing that is really cool about these vintage modified ones that is different from the new classic vibes that you can buy now is that the neck has a rosewood fretboard, which is kind of a rare thing these days, and it's so smooth and nice to play, so I'm really happy with that. There's also 9.5-inch radius, which is my favorite. It's actually even better than my Strat. I prefer 9.5, and my Strat is 10-inch radius, but it's okay. I mean, it is a small difference in the feel, but there's a lot of lacquer in this neck, which I usually remove from my guitars. I sand it out, but in this case I'm just leaving it as it is. It's not bothering me that much. Maybe I'll do it in the future, I don't know. But the good thing about this neck as well is that it's quite thick. It's like the regular vintage C-shaped neck. It's not as slim as some Mexican strats, the player strats or whatever. It's more like a vintage thickness for the neck, which I prefer as well. Anyway, so that was the video about this nice Squier Mustang. It's a guitar that I can take anywhere without being scared of something happening to it because it's so cheap. And well, now it's getting a little bit more expensive with the Fat 60s pickups, because these are almost the price. Well, actually, these are more expensive than the guitar was, believe it or not. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to check, I did a comparison between the Fat 60s and the Fat 50s, and I also have some music on my own. You can check on Spotify, my Portuguese stuff, or you can check on YouTube, my new song in English, and that's all for now. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and all that, etc. Thanks. Bye.
After all the jacks are in the boxes and the crowns have all gone to bed, I can hear happiness dying on down the street. Footsteps, dress